Hello. Yeah, this is going to be video number 3, and I'm going to talk about practice quizzes. But first, I just wanted to remind everyone that there's 3 kinds of quizzes in my music class. There are special quizzes, practice quizzes, and real quizzes, and real tests. Now, you remember in the previous video, number 2, I talked about special quizzes, the 2 kinds of special quizzes, namely the introductory quiz and the lockdown check quiz. Now, um, we're going to take a look at practice quizzes. There are 3 kinds of practice quizzes: basic questions, tutorials, and review activities. And these are some characteristics of all the practice quizzes. For one thing, the practice quizzes are based on the readings in the ebook, in the textbook. There's a lot of practice quizzes. There are maybe almost 30. The exact number is different every semester, but there's probably about 28, 29, 30 practice quizzes. And we just take the average of the practice quizzes. And so each individual practice quiz is not super important for your grade. Now, moving question. The second point on this page here is that you can take these over and over, the practice quizzes. Hopefully your score gets better every time, and take them as many times as you want. Number 3, I say here, once a practice quiz is posted, that is, once I make it available on the blackboard so that everyone can take it, some are geared, or some are aimed at test 1 and some are aimed at test 2, and all of them are related to the final exam. So you can use these to review the material. Use the practice quizzes, especially since they remain, once they're up there on the blackboard, they stay there until the end of the semester. You can use them when you're getting ready for the final exam. Uh, for the final exam. Now, when you finish a practice quiz, you can see all the questions and your answers, and you'll know if your answers were correct or not. And that's, of course, another reason why the practice quizzes are useful for review purposes, as I was saying on the previous slide. And finally, on this slide, I point out that the practice quizzes are not timed tests. You don't have to finish a practice quiz in a half an hour or 2 hours, 1 hour, any particular amount of time. And here we are. We're in the practice quizzes folder right now. How did I get here? Well, when I entered the blackboard, I could see this column on the left-hand side of the page. It's a black column mostly, and all these names over here are links. You can click on these. If you click on practice quizzes, that'll take you to the practice quizzes folder. And I won't comment too much about review activities or tutorials right now. They're pretty much self-explanatory. And one quick point about tutorials, though, you won't have access to these quizzes in here until you buy the ebook. You have to buy the ebook in order to take these quizzes here. But let's look at the basic questions folder. If I click on that, you see there's these practice quizzes here from the early part of the semester, and then here's some practice quizzes from the middle of the semester, and here's some practice quizzes from towards the end of the semester. Now, let's say we're in the middle of the semester, and we'll click on this, and we want to work on the study questions from chapter 15. So we'd click on this. I just want to point out one more thing on this video. You notice there are two quizzes here. There's this chapter 15 quiz and chapter 15 listening quiz. And both of those quizzes are part of the assignments for the class. Sometimes the students will take the quiz but skip the listening quiz for some reason. But don't do that. Every chapter almost every chapter has got a quiz and a listening quiz. In a couple of cases, there's a quiz and two listening quizzes. Usually it's a quiz and just one listening quiz. Alright, I just want to make sure everyone was aware of that. This concludes video number 3.